What if I told you that the most successful person you'll ever hear about failed 100 times before he succeeded once? This is not a fairy tale. This is the story of a man who refused to let failure be his final answer.
His name was Ethan, a 24-year-old young man from a small, quiet town where big dreams were considered foolish. While other boys his age were happy with simple lives, Ethan had a fire inside him. A burning desire to build something that mattered, something the world would remember. But nobody believed in that fire, not his teachers, not his neighbors, and sadly, not even his own family.
At 18, Ethan applied to every college he could find. He wrote his applications with shaking hands and a hopeful heart.
But every single letter that came back said the same thing: rejected. His classmates laughed in the hallways. Some called him a dreamer, others called him a fool. And his own father sat him down one evening and said words that no son should ever hear from his father. Son, maybe this life of big dreams is just not for you.
But Ethan did something that surprised everyone. He said nothing. He simply walked to the old garage behind their house and started building. With no money, no degree, no support, just 2 hands and one unbreakable belief. 3 months later, his first small business shut down. Failure number 1. He tried again.
A small shop in the market. 6 months of hard work. Closed down. Failure number 2. He tried again. A small service business. 4 months. Failed. Failure number 3. Again and again and again. Each time, people around him shook their heads a little more. Each time, the whispers got a little louder. But Ethan had a habit that nobody knew about. Every single night, no matter how tired, no matter how broken he felt, he opened a small notebook. And on each page, he wrote 2 things: the failure and the lesson it taught him. While the world was counting his failures, Ethan was collecting his education.
Years passed. Friends disappeared one by one. The people who once sat beside him now crossed the street to avoid him. His savings were gone. His reputation in town was nothing but a joke. And one cold evening, after his 99th failure, Ethan walked outside into the pouring rain. He sat on the old stone stairs outside his building, and for the first time in years, he cried. Not because he was weak, but because he was tired. So unbelievably tired. He looked up at the dark sky and whispered, "Maybe they were right about me."
And then, a voice. An old man with kind eyes and white hair sat down beside him on those wet stairs, as if he had been waiting there all along. He looked at Ethan for a long moment and then asked quietly, "How many times have you tried, son?" Ethan laughed bitterly. 99 times, he said, and I failed every single one. The old man nodded slowly and said something Ethan would never forget for the rest of his life. Good. Most people quit at 3, 4 words. That was all it took. Ethan sat there in the rain for a long time after the old man left. And then something shifted inside him. He went home. He opened his notebook, the one with 99 failures and 99 lessons. And he read every single page. He realized something extraordinary. He hadn't failed 99 times. He had learned 99 things that most people never bothered to learn. He knew exactly what didn't work. He knew every mistake, every wrong turn, every trap. And for the first time, he felt ready. His 100th attempt was different from the very first moment. He worked when the city slept. He planned when others relaxed. He sacrificed when others celebrated. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And slowly, very slowly, something began to work. The day Ethan opened the doors of his company, nobody laughed. The same town that had whispered about his failures was now silent with respect. The same father who had told him to give up stood in the front row with tears in his eyes. And Ethan,
The boy who failed 100 times stood at the door of everything he had ever dreamed of, holding one small, worn, old notebook. Here is what the world never tells you. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the path to success. Every person you admire today, every name you respect, has a notebook full of failures that nobody ever talks about. The only real failure is the one you don't learn from. Ethan failed 100 times, but he only needed to succeed once. So let me ask you something. How many times are you willing to try? If this story sparks something inside you, you're already like Ethan. Subscribe to Ember Stories, where every spark becomes a flame.